Okay, everybody, we are back and we are doing PowerPoint, and we're going to do a basic PowerPoint today because I want you guys to work on a quick project for me coming up, and that's going to be tomorrow while some of you are out testing, but others of you are not. So, but this is easily doable at home. So let's go ahead and get started with a blank presentation. Okay, so once again, if you open up PowerPoint, you are in the template section where a lot of template-y options are available to you for various different looks. But go ahead and go to the blank presentation. Get a blank presentation open, please. So PowerPoint is your way to get information onto the screen so that people can see what you're talking about while you're talking about it, which gives them two ways of getting things into their brains: visual and audio input. Okay, seeing things while hearing things, and that makes it very good for most people to learn something, to get it in that kind of delivery method. Okay, now, so what do we got here? Presentation. You got your title, you got a subtitle, you have your first slide, you're ready to go. Right? Wrong. Design. Go to the Design tab. On the Design tab, you have all of these same templates that you were using before. Let's go and say, well, I've changed my mind. Let's say you were on this particular slide type, and you found out that it's got all kinds of weird slide layouts and stuff like that, and this bar in the middle part kind of screws things up, and it's not really a good look for you. So what you want to do is you want to go to the Design tab and check out different ways to see your work in the different design themes. Okay, so as you go through the themes, number one, take your mouse, go over it like this. You get a preview, especially if you've got words typed into it. You will see it. You see your words rearranged in the appropriate type of theme here. Okay. Now, there's also a drop-down list. You can do all of these. Okay. All right. Now, go ahead and click. Let's see. What's a nice one that everyone should have? There should be one called Facet. It's this one right here with the green. So go ahead and click on Facet. We're doing PowerPoint, Ihan. Look on your desktop for PowerPoint. Orange thing with a white P on it. Okay? All right, this is Facet. Okay, now notice once again there are also variants here. Okay? So if you're doing a birth announcement and it's a boy, you can do this one. If it's a girl, you can do the or if you have no idea what it's going to be, it's like you can, whatever. I'm just kidding. Gender neutral. Green is a gender neutral color. There we go. All right. Now, everybody take a look at the variants. There's a drop-down list for the variants. There's a drop-down list for the variants. There are color options that you can choose in the variants. It's not just those four. You can use the color variants to choose the different kind of effects that you see in yours sometimes. There are also font choices. You could change the font choices in your theme. There are also effect choices. You can choose how your boxes look, how some background things look. There are effect choices in the drop-down menu for the variants. Okay, and finally, there's a more simplistic background style that can be chosen in some of them. Okay. Now, you can also choose here slide size. Perhaps you are doing something on an old school computer or an old school TV. and you need to adjust. Sorry, you need to adjust. Instead of having a wide screen, you're going to have a standard 4x3 screen. So that's a more square version of a screen. Sometimes people's screens are like that. Sometimes you're doing a display of some kind, like you know that it's going to be on a board, like being just continually rotating on some flat screen somewhere, and it'll be a standard size screen. So you need to adjust for that. Click on it. Click on the standard slide 4x3. And it'll ask you, hey, I've been working this way with the wide screen, but I need to know how you want me to set this up. So do you want me to basically just take that 4x3 and cut out the parts on the side like this? Or do you want me to ensure the fit and take that screen and just kind of like squeeze it in there normal, and then just put some extra stuff at the top and bottom to make it fit right? So it depends on how you've laid it out so far, what kind of effect, like what kind of theme you've got going on, as to which one of these makes more sense. So let's go ahead and just maximize. Okay, and as you can see, this is a much more square presentation. Okay, and it does make a difference sometimes whenever you're trying to present. And it's like, you know, if you are expecting to use a wide screen, but you end up with a square screen, it kind of squishes things in and makes it all weird and stuff. So if you know that in advance, you might as well turn it to the 4x3 and then work in that genre, so to speak. Also, there's format background. Everybody click on format background. Okay. Now, in the format background, the fill basically means what do you want back there. You got a solid fill, which is the color white. There is also gradient fill. Click on that, which has a slider bar of different colors. Now, on the slider bar of different colors, take one and drag it. Okay? Each one of these bars shows, like if you can see it on the screen there, where the color transition occurs. Do you see how it's changing the spot where the transition of the color occurs? Okay? It can also change the color itself. Watch this. Go to the click on one of your gradients here. Click on the color. Change it to a different color like red. See? So that part of the gradient transfers from one of the colors to a red color and then back to the last color. Okay? So if I wanted to make a rainbow, I would click on the first one. I would go color like red or orange. Click on the second one, make it color yellow. Click on the third one, make it color green. Click on the last one, make it color dark blue. Rainbows in the background. Wait, where'd my green go? This one's blue. There we go. Rainbow colors, yay. It's a rainbow. What does it mean? Now, if there are too many of these for your gradient needs, you can do X to get rid of them, or you could do plus to add more gradient stops, adding more colors that must be transitioned to onto the list. Okay? Now, there are different types of gradients. You could go linear. There's a drop-down list here where it says linear. Radial means the colors go from the center or one of the edges. Like you can choose the direction here. This one goes from the edge. This one goes from the other edge. This one comes from the center and does its color scheme outward. Okay? A lot of different ways you can set this up. Okay? Rectangular means it kind of rectangles out. A path. Path's kind of weird. I don't really understand path. And then there is shade from title. Okay. So there's lots of different options as to how you might have a gradient fill. If you want a picture in the background, you would select this picture or texture fill. 3 ways to get it in there. Choose a file, do something online, or use one of these texture options. I don't know why a dead fish in the middle of this looks like a good idea to people, but it is one of the options. You could choose marble background. You could choose like a different kind of marble, like a screen weirdness background. It's some oak wood or some pine wood. Okay, lots of different options for what kind of background color you'd use. Okay, that's the texture fill. But if you wanted a picture, you would use file, like insert picture from file, or maybe do the online thing. Just like now, remember, if you do the online picture search, like we did in Word, oh my God. Like you could look up something and it's like, yeah, I want to look up a dog. Oh, here's a picture of a dog. Oh, okay, let's use it. Oh, I'm sorry, can't download the picture. So once again, how do we get around this error? Gary, how do we get around the error of Bing being stupid and not downloading stuff like we want it to? How do we get around it in Word and stuff? You don't remember? Our online search function works like poop, and we have to get something off of the internet to be our background. Marcos, any ideas? What? No, you are absolutely correct, Marcos. Marcos said use a Google search, download the picture, and then just use file instead, which is a correct answer. So what he said is go to Google, search up dog picture, go to images, select your picture. Oh, look at that fuzzy face. Save it. Save the image. Okay, and then just use file. And then go find that image. And then download it. And then open it up. Okay? So instead of using the always awful Bing search, which never really works in my experience, just go ahead and download it from Google and file it. Just use file to bring it in. One of the things that you can change on these backgrounds is the transparency, which means how see-through is it? Okay? Like you could have a background in there, but it's like you could lighten it up to where it's just kind of barely there. Or you could turn it all the way down and it's a complete 100% picture of pictures. Okay. Pattern fills are weird and old school. I really don't like them. Like literally, ouch, my eyeballs. Disgusting, terrible. The dot ones are even worse. Like this is like 1993 Word texture graphics kind of stuff. It's really horrible. Okay, don't ever use pattern. Pattern's awful. Okay, always just use like some kind of gradient or something like that. I mean, you don't have to go like rainbow background colors and stuff like that. You could just do a real simple preset pattern, just like, like maybe something like this, That's nice. A little variety to your background, If you do put something busy, we call it busy, in the background, if you have like a picture that's always in your background, you do want to do things like taking your squares, your placeholder text, and doing something like this. Okay, putting in some kind of background color to your placeholders for the contrast. Like if yours is like this, you don't really need the contrast because it's like the letters will all show up. But if you've got a picture, okay, wait, not that one, it's on the background. Format background, use a picture, go to file, find some really busy picture. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so if you've got something like this in the background with a bunch of stuff and a bunch of different colors and things like that, okay, if you type up something, okay, can anybody see that? Brianna, can you see what these words are? Yeah, and guess what? From 60 feet back in the back of the auditorium or whatever where you're doing, no one's going to see this. No one's going to see this. at all. These words are invisible. So if you've got some kind of busy looking background, you must take your shapes and give them some fill also. Okay, you got to do it. Okay, even if it's something just simple like this, you got to give it something to where you can actually see the letters. Okay, that high contrast will save you. And don't think you can just go, oh, well, I'll just change the letters to white instead of black. No, because sometimes in those backgrounds, there's white stuff. Sometimes in those backgrounds, there's light blue stuff. And you can't see white on light blue. So you'll lose a couple of letters. And then people will get confused. Okay? So if you're going to have a busy background like this, always use this kind of stuff to make it better. But I will show you how to do that kind of stuff in more detail later. Let's go back. And remember, Control Z is your friend. Everybody hold down the control button with your left pinky finger. Go and do Z enough times to get back to basics. And if you can't get back to basics, just go File New. And give me a new blank spread. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that. Everybody hold down Control, press N. Hold down Control, press N. Give me a new presentation. Hold down Control, press N as in Nancy key.
I was going to come down next year to get it.
I was in Ireland for the show.
Oh, cool.
I was get it.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. So let's do another quick PowerPoint here. We are going to say some new things, and we're going to make sure that everybody knows how to do the lists and the different types of lists, just to make sure that everybody's getting golden on that. So first up, we have our slide. This slide will be my favorite foods. Okay. And then the subtitle will be your name, by your name. Okay. Press enter, BIM. Press enter today's date. 14, right? Yep, 14. Now, as you're doing these PowerPoints, you are going to need more than one slide. This is a title slide. It tells people what your slideshow is about. That's always a good idea to give them a hint as to what's coming up. But you're obviously going to need new slides. Here is the new slide section. Okay? When you click on new slide generally, right after the title slide, it's always going to give you a title and content area type of slide. But once you change this to something different and you press new slide, it's going to give you another of the exact same kind of slide. So let's say you want to change this. You're like, title and content, that's cool and all, but I don't really want that kind of slide. I need something that's going to give me some words and some pictures. So go here to the Layout tab. Click on Layout. It's got the same thing as the New Slide tab does, actually, where it's like you can choose a new slide of a certain type. But the Layout tab, you can change the type of slide that you're on right now, and it will rearrange everything to fit this new slide type. Go ahead and select the one that says To Content. Okay. So now you've got title, you got an area for words, you got an area for pictures. Okay, that's always a good thing. First off, what's everybody's favorite food type? Shout something out. Chinese food. Yay, good job, Mr. Lincoln. Chinese food is the title here. All right, what kind of Chinese food do you like? Orange chicken. Okay. Now, orange chicken is my food type. What if I, now, as with all list type items, you should give this list some kind of subpoints to your main point, right? So press enter, press tab, and let's talk about why we like orange chicken. Give me a reason why we would like orange chicken. Okay, that's real generic. We're already on the fact that this is our favorite food. Spicy. Spicy flavor. Yay, that's one thing that we like about it. What's another thing that we like about it? Looks cool. What? If they make it the right way. That? Yeah, okay, so let's do another item. Press enter. You're going to be on the same level as this spicy flavor and looks cool, but you want to talk about a different food. What do? Shift tab. Hold down shift, press the tab key. Egg drop soup. Egg drop soup will be number 2 item of Chinese food that we really like. Press enter. We're on the same level of egg drop soup, but we have not described our egg drop soup affection. So press tab. Get to the sub point here. Why do we like egg drop soup? Okay, once again, really generic. Brianna, why do we like egg drop soup so much? Unique flavor, sure. Okay. We're being exceptionally generic. Okay, so I'm going to go over it one more time. All right, so you're on a list. You go down to the next line by pressing enter. Then you decide you need to make a new main point over here. So you hold down shift and press tab. So when you press tab, it becomes a sub point to your main point, just like spicy flavor here. When you want to make a main point, you say shift tab and it goes up one level. Okay, press enter, press tab. Unique flavor. Press enter. You're still on the describing egg drop soup line. Let's say usually free. And free is good. Okay. Press enter. Okay. Now, we could continue on, but we don't have to. So let's do something here. Go up to your font area. Okay. Here are ways to change our fonts. Do we have a lot of room here? Yes. What size is our text? We have some text that's 24 point and some text that's 28 point. Highlight all of your text. Highlight all of your text. Just like this. Highlight all that text. Select it. I mean, that's the official term. Now, if you change your font from this here, everything will become the same size. Don't do this, especially if you've got main points and sub points. What you want to use is these two, the A up and A down, because everything goes up one level. So the 24s become 28s and the 28s become 32s. Okay, highlight all of your text and then A up to fill this space. A up to fill the space. Now the general rule, everybody take a look at this. The general rule is no less than 24 points. You don't have to type this in. I'm just saying it. No less than 24 point font. Okay, right now this is 28 font. Okay. I mean, look up here. Can you read this? Okay. This is 24 point. Can you still read it? Can you read it now? Are you sure? How about now? You can read this. Right? Okay, now make this room twice as big. Yeah. Make this room twice as big and be at the back of the room. Can you read it now? Yeah. Oh, Eagle Eye Ehan over here. No, I mean, like, okay, you see the cafeteria wall back there? Okay, sometimes rooms are that big. right? Sometimes you're in an auditorium. Oh, zoom in with your phone. Okay. Well, not everybody's going to think of that, Ihan. So what you want to do is you want to use big words when you can. If you got space, load it up. Don't make anything less than 24 point, because at that point, at the distances of normal presentation areas, you will start to like lose little old ladies who can't see that good anymore. Okay, you will start to lose people because they just can't make out the words anymore, and nobody's going to be happy about that. So, no less than 24 point. 24 points still small for me. Okay, so no less than 24 point is the general rule. What? Yeah, okay, fine. You can leave your backpack, man. But yeah, you're not going on a trip or nothing. Okay, now, new slide. Click on new slide. Because we are in title and to content, when we hit the new slide button here, we should get another title and to content. If you want to choose something different when you get a new slide, there is, of course, a drop-down menu. You can choose one of the other options for your new slide. But whatever slide type you were on, when you click on the new slide thing, it will give you the same type of slide. Okay? Let's go ahead and type in the next one. Italian food. Yes, Italian, like Brad Pitt said in Inglourious Basterds, whatever's. Yeah, I speak Italian. I'll be first. Julio, you're next. You're number 2. And Johnson, you're third. But I don't speak any Italian. Like I said, third best. All right, so Italian food. Well, let's say pizza. Pizza technically counts as Italian food. Press enter, press tab. It's cheesy. Okay, press enter. And let's give another one. Favorite toppings. All right, wait. Are these subpoints to our main point here? Press enter, press tab. Pepperoni. Press enter. What else? Mushrooms. Press enter. Sausage. Press enter. Bell peppers. All right, now, what did I say about points? What point's the lowest? What are we at now? 20. Uh-oh. All right. So, highlight all. Give me at least one bump up. Give me one bump up on everything. Highlight all your text and use the A up on the font area one time to make these ones down here at the bottom 24 point at least. Press enter. Shift tab. Shift tab. Do it twice. We're done talking about pizza. Lasagna. 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 Press enter, press tab. Okay, what do we like about lasagna? Don't say it's cheesy. Okay, multiple layers of flavor. Okay, multiple layers of flavor. Okay, so you see how we did that. We have an item, a main topic area. We have two things describing it here, but one of the things has a third level of detail. Okay. Remember to make sure that you're checking your font. Make sure it's not too small. Make sure it's not too little bitty tiny. Now, if you get down here and you need some more space for stuff, if you're not careful and you press enter and you start typing in stuff, look what it did. You see it? Whoops. Get down here. Watch closely. You press enter. You start typing. Ah, it squished everything. Now look, everything's all squished in. Some of these may have changed font size. Some of these may be different now. Be careful. Okay, press enter and type in distinct. Noodle. Yes, they have the flat noodles with the wavy edges. Which I have no idea what that does, but it's like, it's cool. It makes me happy. All right, so do you see how this goes? When you want to have a subpoint to your main point, when you want a subpoint to your main point, you press tab. When you want to get back to the main point after talking about something, you press shift tab to go back up. Okay? Now, the idea behind slides is that you don't put too much information in there that will start to confuse people or overload their senses or whatnot. So the idea is there's two things. Number one, no more than 7 lines per slide. Okay? Have I violated that rule here? Kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8, 9, 10. All right, but the second rule is no more than 7 words per line. It's called the 7 by 7 rule. It's called the 7 by 7 rule. No more than 7 lines per slide. No more than 7 big words. I should put in big in parentheses. There we go. Okay. No more than 7 big words per line. Okay. It just gets to be a wall of text after a while, and people stop reading it. Basically, is what happened. Okay. If you have just this giant paragraph on there, people are going to look at it and go, whatever, not bothering. Okay. So the idea of a PowerPoint is bullet points mostly, quickly describing things, okay, giving people something to look at while you're talking, reminding them of what you're talking about, quick little things to let people know, okay? So I could describe my love for orange chicken. You know, I could say, one of my favorite Chinese foods is orange chicken. I like the spicy flavor of it, whenever a restaurant really puts a lot of effort into their orange chicken. They put some spices in there that really kick up the heat and the the temperature of the orange chicken a little bit to give it some kick. I like that in my orange chicken. I prefer that. It's like if they don't really up the sauce at all, then I feel like I'm getting like generic orange chicken, and I don't like that. So I do like a spicy orange chicken. Okay, the whole time people are like seeing that word spicy flavor, right? And it's like you're talking about spicy flavors. And then you start saying, and it also looks cool. It's like you got the noodles, you got the sauce, you got, kind of coats everything, and it's got that, that glistening texture and everything, and it looks really cool, and the presentation's really neat. Plus, it's all like chopped up into bite-sized little pieces. So it really it looks cool. It's got a great presentation. So it's like I'm reinforcing the things that I say that are on the board while I'm talking. And that's the best way to reinforce things in people's heads. Okay? So if I were to talk about the 7 by 7 rule, okay, I would have it like this. I would say, so make sure to not put more than 7 lines per slide. If you put more than 7 lines, it starts to be a wall of text, and you don't want that because people will zone out. And no more than 7 big words per line. Okay, no more than 7 big words per line, because it gets harder to read the bigger the words are. And if it gets too chunky and people can't really make out, it's like they'll just start like trying to read the words. But if people have to put a lot of effort into reading the words, they're just going to stop. Okay, so don't put more than 7 big words per line. A, the, of, those are all cool. Don't count those. But if you've got like a lot of big words, like especially like technical words, you might want to break up your sentences some. Okay, so do you see how you were able to read that kind of stuff while I was talking about it, and it kind of was like kept reinforcing into your mind? So you're much more likely to remember this rule now that I've had it up here and I was talking about it while you were looking at it. Okay, so that's the idea. All right, so it is 10:01. Class ends at 10:05. I say we're good to go for today. If you want to save this, you can. If not, don't worry about it. Tomorrow, I'm going to put in an assignment for you guys to work on where you get to talk about your favorite subject, yourself. Yay! We're going to do a little presentation called All About Me. The very first All About Me presentation is just that kind of work. You're just going to talk about things that you like and things that you enjoy in your life and who's in your life and stuff like that. I just want a blank presentation with some well-placed points and sub-points to those things. So, for example, if one of the slides is my family, okay, don't just say dad, mom, sister, brother, okay? Don't do that. Say immediate, dad, Umberto, mom, Angelina, subpoint, kids, Julie, 16, Bobby, 12, and then like go back to the line and say extended, like you have an immediate section for your family, and then you've got another section for your extended family, like tell me the names of your grandparents, okay? Give me a couple of aunts and uncles, okay? If I say something like, what's your favorite color? Don't just go black, okay? Say black, underscore, under subpoint, goes great with everything. All my t-shirts are black. Great for ninja work outdoors at night. Give me some subpoints to your main point. Describe the thing. Don't just tell me, who's your friends? Bob, Tim, Joe. No. Bob, known since elementary school. Tim, great at video games. Joe, always has like a car that we can use to drive places. Give me some subpoints to your main point to describe the thing. Okay? So that's the kind of thing that we're going to be looking to do tomorrow, and it will be due over the weekend. So, chop on that as you're doing your work tomorrow. Okay? And if you don't have time during school because you are testing, well, then you got some homework to do in slides probably, but slides are just as fine, and they work the exact same way as far as all this stuff goes. You may not have as many choices in the design area for backgrounds and stuff like that, but they work in a similar fashion. You can use themes. There's a button for themes. You can find that easy. Okay? All right. We will see you guys later.